Welcome to another edition of Arizona Wildcats Insiders Podcast. I am your host, Troy Hutchison, and we are getting closer to kickoff with Arizona kicking off against Iowa State in 2 days. The Wildcats will be playing the Cyclones 4 p.m. here local time on ESPN, primetime game. Great time slot for Arizona fans. Great time slot for national television. This is going to be a big game for the Wildcats. Arizona enters the game 3-0. Impressive wins over Hawaii and Weber State, and a very solid win over a solid Kansas State team that is, yes, reeling right now, but still a very talented roster and a very good coaching staff that has gotten the job done in the past. On the flip side of that, Iowa State coming in 4-0. They've been very impressive. Wins over Kansas State, wins over Iowa, underwhelming against Arkansas State. I'll give them that. But, it's a program that knows how to win ugly. They know how to win ugly games. They play in 14-man formations in terms of tight end groups. They love their tight ends. They use 4 or 5 tight ends in a game. They're very sound defensively. They're well coached with Matt Campbell. Mind you, Iowa State used to be a doormat. They used to be a doormat for a very long time. And really the laughing stock of the Big 12. They're on Kansas's level back in the day. And Kansas is a very good football team now. But both programs used to be a walking doormat. Now, Iowa State's one of the better programs in the Big 12. They have a great home field advantage. They're going to have a whiteout, which is a very interesting take for Arizona. They're going to go all white uniforms, stormtrooper uniforms. It's going to be rocking in Ames, Iowa. Tough environment, tough place to play. And this is going to be a very good game. I think right now, Arizona's around that 7.5 to 8.5 point underdog. I would take the Wildcats with the spread. I think this is going to be a very good game. It's going to be an interesting game. And as we've seen, kickoff, get closer. We've seen Seth Diggy talk about the offensive line and the development on the line and how they need to overcome some of their holding issues, but he loves the progress he's been seeing out there on the football field. Chuba Mae, they haven't named him the quote-unquote starter. However, he is number 1 on the depth chart. He is the number 1 listed left guard or right guard, one of the guards on the depth chart. So that's very interesting to see there. I think you've seen Noah Fafita be very efficient and very good quarterback for Arizona this season. Nothing spectacular yet. Again, he's only completing 59% of his passes, which would be a career low for him. I think he's going to finish around that 65 to 66 range. But 9 total touchdowns, 3 rushing, 6 passing, and no turnovers. He hasn't turned the ball over once. It's highly impressive for a guy that led the conference or tied for the lead in the conference in interceptions a year ago with a couple of fumbles as well. He's protecting the football. He's getting the ball in the right placement in the right spot. 712 yards passing. That number really could be around 900 to 950 if some things went Arizona's ways instead of a couple holding calls here, a couple, drop passes by the receivers. You're looking at a guy that's probably completing around 63% of his passes and around 950 yards total offense, passing offense, with probably about 12 touchdowns. So, they've missed some opportunities, but they're getting better week in and week out. As we get closer to kickoff, though, we've seen some things announced from the Big 12. They announced the time slot for the Arizona-Oklahoma State game. That's going to be Arizona's next home game, and that's going to kick off at noon Mountain Standard Time. So, for all you Arizona Wildcat fans out there, there's no excuses. One, game started about 7:30. Oh, it's too late. 8 o'clock. Oh, it's too late. Kickoff. It's too late. Got to think about getting my kids to bed. Okay, cool. Friday night game, 6 o'clock, Kansas State. Oh, it's too late. It's a weird time frame for a Friday night. Stop. There's no reason that stadium in Arizona, that Arizona football stadium, shouldn't have around 42,000 to 45,000 fans in the seats. And actual fans in the seats, not tickets sold. There's no reason. Noon kickoff. Oklahoma State comes to town. TNT game. Arizona's going to probably be a double-digit point favorite. There is no reason there should be fans not in the stands. So come out and support the Arizona team. They are playing really tremendous football right now. I think the Iowa State game is going to be a tremendous game in a 1 point deficit, not 1 point, one possession deficit between the two programs. And then the Big 12 announced the kickoff time for Arizona State, which will be a 7:00 night game in Tempe. I know some Arizona fans were complaining about it being a night game and how it's quote unquote bad luck. That game used to always be a night game growing up. I know recently it's been a day game over the last 10 years, but growing up that used to be a night game. 2008, go to the Vegas Bowl, that was a night game. Let's see here. The Alex Zendejas extra point off the butt, that was a night game. Kadeem Carey's games were a night game. Tron Candidate running for 50-yard plus touchdowns against ASU in 1998. That was a night game. Come out and support it. It's going to be a great game in Tempe. I think it's going to be an instant classic. I think we're going to have an instant classic duel in the desert. And to be honest, there's nothing better in college football in the West Coast between Arizona and Arizona State. That rivalry game is the most hated rivalry out here in the West Coast. No other rival has that much hatred out here in the West Coast. You could talk about Michigan and Ohio State, Alabama, Auburn. Those are all heated. Hell, the Egg Bowl, Mississippi State, Mississippi, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas versus Texas A&M, Nebraska, Oklahoma. Those are all great rivalries. Notre Dame and USC, those are phenomenal rivalries. But in terms of the pure hatred, it may not have the tradition as other rivals, but in terms of the pure hatred, this is one of the top rivalries in college football. So go out and support that. But it's going to be fun to watch. Now, one of the things on Oklahoma State is the firing of head coach Mike Montgomery. Little shock there. Yes, they are 12. They have lost 11 of their last 12 games. The one win coming against an FCS opponent in UT Martin. They've struggled over the last couple games. Oklahoma State, where he led to multiple bowl games, 8-10 win seasons, and you fire him mid-season, a third of the season. That's terrible. That's terrible. Let him finish it out. He has built up Oklahoma State football like no tomorrow. In comparison, Arizona football, 122-year history, has 4 bowl games. 4 10-win seasons. So I think that's terrible. But Oklahoma State will be a heavy underdog in Tucson. They'll have an interim head coach, a guy that has been with their program from 2005 to 2012, then came back last season to be the offense coordinator. I just don't get it. But we'll have more coverage of Arizona versus Iowa State leading up to the game. So check out Arizona Wildcats on SI. Check out my Twitter account at Arizona Wildcats on SI, or me, Troy Hutchison, at THutch1995, and we'll see you next time.